Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Life will test you. People will test you. They will push your buttons, step on your toes, and sometimes even try to shake your foundation. But listen to me, you don't have to react. You don't have to lose your peace. You don't have to let anybody take control of your emotions. Because the moment they do, they own you, and you're too strong, too wise, too focused to let that happen. Can you imagine how much power you give away when you let someone else dictate your emotions? When you allow their words, their attitude, or their negativity to pull you out of character? The truth is, no one has power over you unless you give it to them. That's a fact. But too often, we let people get under our skin. We let their opinions, their disrespect, their foolishness take us to a place we don't need to be. And before we know it, we're angry, we're frustrated, we're reacting instead of staying in control. See, life is going to test you. That's inevitable. You'll encounter people who are rude, people who are ignorant, people who seem like they wake up every morning with the sole purpose of pushing your buttons. But here's the key. You don't have to respond to everything. You don't have to give energy to every little thing that tries to disturb your peace. The moment you react, you hand over control. You let them dictate your mood. You let them decide how your day is going to go. And that, my friend, is a game you cannot afford to play. Think about it. How many times have you let one negative encounter ruin your entire day? Maybe someone cut you off in traffic. Maybe a coworker made a snide remark. Maybe a friend or a family member said something that got under your skin. And instead of brushing it off, you carried it with you. You let it sit in your mind, rent-free. You replayed the conversation over and over again, thinking about what you should have said, what you could have done. And meanwhile, that person, they've moved on. They're not even thinking about it. But you're still stuck in that moment, still giving them control over how you feel. That's why learning to control your response is so important. Because once you master your emotions, once you train yourself to pause before you react, you become untouchable. You become free. Nothing and no one can dictate your peace. They can try, oh, they will try, but when you decide that you will not allow outside forces to determine your inner state, you take your power back. Now let's talk about the power of pause. Because too many people operate on impulse. They let their emotions lead, and before they know it, they've said something they regret. They've done something that wasn't necessary, and now they're in a situation that could have been avoided. But when you learn to pause, to take a breath, to assess, to ask yourself, is this worth my energy? You start making choices from a place of strength, not weakness. See, reacting is easy. Anybody can react. Anybody can snap back, can curse somebody out, can lose their cool. But responding with wisdom, with patience, with calmness, that takes discipline. That takes real strength. That takes a level of self-mastery that most people never reach because they think controlling your emotions means you're weak. No, no, no. Controlling your emotions means you're in charge. It means you refuse to let anybody pull you out of your character. It means you understand that your peace is more valuable than proving a point. You ever notice how the most powerful people in the world don't react emotionally? They stay composed, they stay in control, because they know the moment they let someone shake them, they lose leverage. And the same is true in your life. The moment you let someone upset you, you've lost. The moment you let them get a reaction out of you, they win. And you're better than that. You're stronger than that. So the next time somebody tries to get a rise out of you, take a breath. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Is this worth my peace? And more often than not, the answer will be no. Because most of the things that bother us, that frustrate us, that make us angry, they're not worth it. They don't add value to our lives. They don't help us grow. And if something doesn't serve your purpose, you don't have to entertain it. Mastering your mindset is the foundation of emotional control. It's not just about avoiding anger or frustration. It's about training your mind to see things differently, to process situations in a way that empowers you instead of weakening you. Everything starts in the mind. The way you think determines the way you react, and the way you react determines the course of your life. If you can shift your mindset, you can shift your entire experience of life. Think about this. Two people can go through the exact same situation, but their responses can be completely different. One person lets a rude comment ruin their entire day, while the other person shrugs it off and keeps moving. One person gets cut off in traffic and blows up, while the other stays calm and keeps driving. What's the difference? Their mindset. It's not the situation that makes them react a certain way, it's how they perceive it. The truth is, you don't have to react negatively to anything. You don't have to let people frustrate you. You don't have to get offended. It's a choice. And once you understand that, you realize that you have more control than you ever thought possible. See, most people let their emotions dictate their behavior because they've never taken the time to train their minds. They've never questioned why they react the way they do. They just go through life on autopilot, letting every little thing get to them. But if you want to be unshakable, if you want to live a life where nobody can disturb your peace, you have to take control of your thoughts. You have to be intentional about how you see things. Instead of seeing an insult as an attack, see it as a reflection of the other person's character. Instead of seeing a difficult person as a problem, see them as a lesson in patience. Instead of seeing setbacks as failures, see them as opportunities to grow. Your perception creates your reality. If you tell yourself that people are always against you, that life is unfair, that you have no control, you will always feel frustrated. But if you train yourself to see challenges as opportunities, to see negativity as noise that you don't need to entertain, you will move through life with a level of peace and confidence that most people never experience. One of the most powerful things you can do to master your mindset is to practice detachment. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you don't allow external situations to control your internal state. It means you can observe negativity without absorbing it. It means you can hear criticism without taking it personally. It means you can witness drama and chaos without getting pulled into it. When you detach from situations emotionally, you give yourself the power to respond instead of react. You stop letting people push your buttons because you realize that their behavior has nothing to do with you. It's all about them. Another key to mastering your mindset is self-awareness. Pay attention to your triggers. What are the things that set you off? What kind of comments make you react emotionally? What type of people irritate you the most? Once you identify your triggers, you can start to take control over them. You can train yourself to pause before reacting, to remind yourself that you are in control, that you don't have to give your energy to things that don't serve you. It also helps to remind yourself of the bigger picture. In the moment, something may seem like a big deal. Someone's attitude, someone's words, a small inconvenience. It might feel frustrating in the moment, but ask yourself, will this matter a year from now? Will this even matter next week? Most of the time, the answer is no. And if it won't matter in the future, why let it take away your peace right now? At the end of the day, mastering your mindset is about choosing your focus. If you focus on negativity, you will feel negative. If you focus on what you can't control, you will feel powerless. But if you focus on your growth, on your peace, on the things that truly matter, you will feel powerful. You will feel in control. And when you're in control of your mind, nothing and no one can shake you. What others say or do is a reflection of them, not you. This is one of the most powerful truths you can embrace if you want to live a life where you are never angry or bothered by anyone. Too many people take things personally when they shouldn't. They let someone's bad mood, rude comment, or negative energy affect them as if it has something to do with them. But in reality, how people act is a reflection of their own inner world, their own struggles, and their own mindset. It has nothing to do with you. Imagine someone walks into a room and starts throwing insults. One person takes it to heart, feeling attacked, hurt, and upset. Another person listens, nods, and moves on, unbothered. The insults were the same, but the reactions were different. Why? Because the second person understands that negativity from others isn't about them, it's about the other person's state of mind. People project their own pain, frustration, and insecurities onto others. If someone is rude to you, it's not because of you, it's because of what's going on inside them. Think about it. Happy, confident, peaceful people don't go around insulting or attacking others. People who feel good about themselves don't try to tear others down. The only reason someone would try to bring negativity into your life is because they are dealing with their own internal battles. And once you recognize this, you stop taking things personally. You stop reacting emotionally to people who aren't even in control of their own emotions. Now, that doesn't mean you should let people walk all over you. It doesn't mean you should tolerate disrespect. But it does mean that you don't have to let other people's words or actions affect your peace. Just because someone else is miserable doesn't mean you have to be. Just because someone else is rude doesn't mean you have to respond with anger. You always have a choice. Detaching from negativity means recognizing that you are not responsible for other people's emotions. You are not responsible for their bitterness, their negativity, or their anger. If someone is upset, that's their battle to fight, not yours. Too often, people get dragged into other people's chaos because they feel like they need to defend themselves or prove a point. But you don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't have to justify yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Let them be negative. Let them have their opinions. That's their burden to carry, not yours. Think of yourself like a solid, unshakable mountain. Storms will come, the wind will blow, the rain will fall, but the mountain doesn't move. It stays standing, strong and firm, no matter what's happening around it. That's how you need to be when dealing with negativity. No matter what's happening outside of you, you remain centered, focused, and calm. Another way to detach from negativity is to stop seeking validation from others. A lot of anger and frustration comes from caring too much about what people think. We get upset when someone criticizes us because we secretly crave their approval. We feel offended when someone doesn't respect us because we believe their opinion matters. But once you stop depending on outside validation, you become free. You don't need people to like you. You don't need their approval. You don't need their understanding. When you validate yourself, when you know your own worth, nothing anyone says can shake you. Letting go of negativity also means choosing where to place your energy. If someone is negative, you don't have to engage with them. You don't have to argue, defend yourself, or prove anything. Silence is powerful. Walking away is powerful. Protecting your peace is powerful. Some battles are not worth fighting because they are simply distractions from what really matters. The more you engage with negative people, the more you feed their negativity. The more you ignore them, the less power they have over you. Remember, negativity is like a fire. Protecting your peace is one of the most important things you can do to live a life free from anger, frustration, and negativity. Your peace is your power. It's the foundation of your mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. But too many people give it away too easily. They allow outside forces, negative people, stressful situations, toxic environments, to disrupt their inner calm. The truth is, no one can take your peace unless you let them. That's why you have to guard it with everything you have. Think about it this way. If you owned $1 million mansion, you wouldn't leave the front door wide open for anyone to walk in and destroy it. You wouldn't let just anyone bring in dirt, trash, or chaos. You'd be selective about who you allow inside. You'd make sure that only those who respect your space and contribute positively to it are welcomed. Your peace is even more valuable than that mansion, yet so many people leave it unprotected, allowing just anyone to come in and disturb it. It's time to start treating your peace like the priceless asset it is. One of the first steps to protecting your peace is setting boundaries. You have to decide what you will and will not allow into your life. This means being clear about what you tolerate from others, what kind of conversations you engage in, and what kind of energy you surround yourself with. Boundaries are not just about keeping negativity out. They're about keeping your inner world stable. They are a form of self-respect. When you set boundaries, you are telling yourself and others that your peace matters, that your mental and emotional well-being are a priority. Boundaries can take many forms. Sometimes it means limiting your time with people who constantly bring negativity into your life. It could mean refusing to engage in arguments that serve no purpose. It could mean turning off your phone for a while to avoid unnecessary drama. It could mean walking away from a conversation instead of allowing yourself to be dragged into an unnecessary conflict. The point is, you don't have to be available for every argument, every debate, every problem someone else wants to dump on you. You have the right to protect your space. Another way to protect your peace is to be mindful of what you consume. What you allow into your mind and spirit affects how you feel. If you constantly expose yourself to negative news, toxic conversations, or social media arguments, You are opening the door for stress, anger, and frustration to enter your life. Instead, choose to feed your mind with positivity. Read things that uplift you. Listen to music that soothes you. Spend time in environments that make you feel calm and centered. Be intentional about what you allow in, because what goes in affects what comes out. It's also important to protect your peace by learning the power of letting go. Holding on to anger, grudges, or resentment only disturbs your own inner world. You don't have to carry the weight of every insult, every misunderstanding, or every disagreement. Sometimes, the best thing you can do for your peace is to simply let things be. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every comment needs a response. Not every situation needs your energy. When you learn to let go, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and allow yourself to stay in a place of peace. Another key to maintaining your peace is practicing self-care. This isn't just about taking time for yourself. It's about doing the things that keep you grounded, strong, and centered. Exercise, meditation, journaling, prayer, deep breathing. These are all ways to maintain your inner balance. When you take care of yourself, you are better equipped to handle whatever comes your way without losing your peace. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you don't take care of your mind and body, it becomes much easier for negativity to creep in and take control. Finally, protecting your peace means being intentional about your reactions. People will try to provoke you. They will test your patience. They will try to get a reaction out of you. But when you make the conscious decision to stay calm and unbothered, you take back your power. You do not have to attend every argument you're invited to. You do not have to respond to every insult thrown your way. You do not have to match someone else's negative energy. When you stay in control of your emotions, you show that your peace is non-negotiable. At the end of the day, protecting your peace is about making choices. Choosing what you allow into your space. Choosing what you give your energy to. Choosing how you respond to negativity. And when you make protecting your peace a priority, you create a life where nothing and no one can shake you. Focusing on your purpose is one of the most powerful ways to stay unbothered by negativity, distractions, and people who try to bring you down. When you have a clear vision for your life, when you know exactly where you're going and what you're working toward, nothing can pull you off course. The reason so many people get caught up in petty arguments, unnecessary drama, and meaningless conflicts is because they lack direction. They don't have a purpose that drives them, so they get distracted by things that don't matter. But when you are locked in on your goals, you don't have time for nonsense. You don't have time for anger. You don't have time to be bothered by people who have nothing to do with your destiny. Think about some of the most successful and influential people in the world, athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders, artists. Do you think they waste their energy arguing with every critic, responding to every insult, or engaging in drama? No, because they are focused on their mission. They understand that their time and energy are too valuable to waste on things that don't serve their higher purpose. That's the mindset you need to have. You have to be so dedicated to your growth, your success, and your vision that negativity becomes irrelevant. One of the biggest benefits of focusing on your purpose is that it shifts your perspective. When you have something meaningful to work toward, the little things don't bother you as much. Minor inconveniences, negative people, rude comments, none of it seems important when you're chasing something bigger. Your energy naturally flows toward what matters, and anything that doesn't contribute to your growth simply fades into the background. It's like a horse in a race. When they put those blinders on, they don't see anything but the finish line. They don't worry about what's happening on the sidelines because they are locked in on where they're going. That's how you have to be in life. Now, staying focused on your purpose requires discipline. Distractions will come. People will test you. There will always be something trying to pull your attention away. But every time you find yourself tempted to react to negativity, ask yourself, is this worth my time? Is this getting me closer to my goals? If the answer is no, walk away. Redirect your energy back to your purpose. Don't let temporary emotions pull you away from your long-term vision. Another reason focusing on your purpose helps you stay unbothered is that it gives you confidence. When you know what you're about, when you're making progress in your life, you don't need validation from anyone. You don't care about people's opinions because you're too busy building something great. A lot of frustration and anger comes from worrying about what other people think. But when you're focused on your purpose, you stop seeking approval, you stop getting offended by criticism, you stop engaging with negativity. Because at the end of the day, you know who you are and where you're going. It's also important to surround yourself with like-minded people who are also driven by purpose. When you're around people who are focused, motivated, and committed to their growth, you naturally adopt that same mindset. But if you're constantly around people who thrive on gossip, drama, and negativity, it's easy to get sucked into that energy. Choose your environment wisely. Be intentional about who you allow into your space. Surround yourself with people who push you forward, not people who drain your energy. Another key to staying focused is keeping your vision clear. Remind yourself daily of what you're working toward. Write down your goals. Visualize your success. Stay inspired. The more you feed your mind with purpose-driven thoughts, the less room there is for distractions. When you're passionate about your journey, you don't have time to entertain nonsense. You're too busy growing, evolving, and becoming the best version of yourself. At the end of the day, distractions will always be there. Negative people will always exist. But when you are locked in on your purpose, none of that matters. You don't have to waste your energy proving yourself to people who don't see your vision. You don't have to lower yourself to argue with people who don't add value to your life. You don't have to react to every little thing that tries to shake you because you are too focused on what truly matters: your growth, your goals, and your purpose.